Hello guys, in this particular video we will learn the high frequency response of FET amplifier, and as far as high frequency response is concerned, we have learned more little bit about BJT amplifier. There we have considered that what will happen at high frequency as far as CC1, CC2 and CS is concerned. So as we have got that XCC1 is equal to 0. If I am considering F tending towards infinity, then XCC1 is 0, then XCS is also 0, then XCC2 also 0. So that will not give you harm for FET or socket as an amplifier is concerned. But along with this particular capacitances, we have the junction capacitances or stray capacitances we have, and that are nothing but connected from gate to drain, drain to your source, right, and source to drain, gate to source. So all these intrinsic capacitances also we have to consider. Otherwise what will happen, as frequency increases, these capacitances will tend towards zero value and will become short circuited, and my JFET will get damaged, and I don't want this kind of scenario at any frequency. So we have to set particular frequency so that my circuit will look as well as an amplifier. So we will say that at what particular frequency my JFET will work very nicely and give you very nice frequency response as far as mid frequency range is concerned. So for that we have to calculate the value of higher cutoff frequency. So for that, in this particular video we will learn how to calculate higher cutoff frequency. We'll do the namakaran of this particular capacitance. D and S के बीच में क्या आना चाहिए? I can say CDS, right? Drain to source capacitance, this is CDG, or you can say CGD. Okay, this will be your CGS. Okay, rather more than that, this I should not have to write this with capital letters, I have to write with small letters. So I will change this CDG, and this will be your CDS, and this will be your CGS. Okay, this is because capacitor is a function of frequency, and we are considering the AC equivalent model, and in that we have to incorporate this particular capacitances. Okay, and then we will proceed further for the calculation of FH1 and FH2, rather FHI and FHO at the input and output side, and then we will determine which particular frequency we will have to calculate. So let us move further. We will draw AC equivalent model. Just take a pause of few minutes and draw this AC equivalent model for this particular circuit without disturbing this intrinsic green capacitances. Short circuit all these coupling and bypass capacitances. Try to form the AC equivalent model of your own and then come to me. Pause your screen. As far as this particular AC equivalent model without capacitor is concerned, this will look like this. Okay, and I want to draw the another capacitances for the high frequency calculation, that is in between gate, drain and source. So in between gate and drain I will be having one capacitor, uska naam hai CGD. Okay, another capacitor that is in between source and gate, uska naam hai CGS. In between drain and source I will be having another capacitance, uska naam hai CDS. Okay, so these three capacitances. Okay, fine. So we will say that there are another few capacitances are there in the real picture. these are nothing but the wiring capacitor. So as we have learned that in BJT, wiring capacitor is at the input side as well as output side. See, this is CWI, wiring capacitor at the input side, and this is your CWO at the output side. Now what will happen, this CGD will be culprit for this particular circuit because I cannot isolate the input side and output side. So this particular capacitor will be incorporated at this particular RC circuit and this RC circuit as well. So for that the solution is Miller's theorem. So what we will do, we will consider this as the culprit impedance, right? And that impedance we have to incorporate at the input side and output side with consideration of the gain factor, that is nothing but the ratio of Vx and Vy. Okay, so for that first we will have to calculate what will be the XMI, CMI. XMI is the capacitive reactance at the input side, so we don't have to consider the capacitive reactance, rather we have to consider what is CMI. CMI is nothing but 1 minus AV multiplied by CGD. Now in the BJT we learned that we have to just convert this CBC into CMI. Here just we have to change the terminals of the transistor, as base is replaced with the gate and collector is replaced by your drain. So CGD instead of CBC. CMI is this, and I can say that where AV is nothing but the ratio of Vy and Vx. Okay. Similarly, at the output side we'll be getting CMO is nothing but 1 minus 1 upon AV multiplied by CGD. So if CGD is given and if I know the mid frequency voltage gain at this particular node, that is Vy divided by Vx, don't have to consider this R signal, otherwise you will get wrong answer for CMI and CMO as well. So what we'll have to consider, we have to consider this AV without source resistance. Okay, so we will say this AV is nothing but without any source resistance. So we have calculated the value of CMI. So now we don't have to worry about this CGD. We'll replace it at the input side as well as output side. Then how your circuit will look like, we will see that. So pause your screen, try to form the modified equivalent AC equivalent model and then come to me. Pause your screen. Okay, so I can say that this CGS, this CWI are in parallel. Okay, because S is already connected to ground and CWI is also connected to the ground, and both are having another terminal as common terminal. Similarly, I can say that this CGD, if comes at the input side, becomes CMI. Now I can say that CWI, CGS and CMI becomes in parallel. So I can say I will draw three parallel capacitances and whose value is nothing but CMI, CWI and CGS. Okay, so this is your CGS, this is your CMI and this is CWI, all are in parallel. Similarly, at the output side I can say that this CGD I'll replace it at the output side as the Miller's output capacitance, that is CMO. Okay, similarly another capacitance I will be getting, that is CWO, and the original intrinsic stray capacitance, that is nothing but your in between drain and source. So here we will be getting the another capacitance, that is CDS. So I can say that yes, here also I have got all three capacitances are in parallel, and fortunately or unfortunately, fortunately for us and unfortunately for you guys, and I can say if one more resistance, fortunately or unfortunately, so here we are getting the value of the resistance RL, fortunately or unfortunately for you guys, and I can say RL in parallel with RD in parallel with RO. So it's so simple, no complications. CMO, CWO, CDS are also in parallel, right? So my circuit at the output side will become the simple RC network and here also I can get the value of FH, that is higher cutoff frequency. Here also we will be getting the higher cutoff frequency where all these resistances in the form of RG and RS that are giving me the value of FHI. So we will calculate that particular value of FHI and FHO. Here it will be 1 and here it is for 2. Okay, so let's start with the calculation of the value of FH, right? So the very critical thing is how to calculate the value of C and how to calculate the value of R, because we all know that what is the value of F? F is nothing but 1 upon 2 pi RC. So we will say that this FHI is nothing but 1 upon 2 pi. We'll do the Namakaran at the input side as Ri for resistance and capacitance as Ci. Okay, for output side we will say FHO is nothing but 1 upon 2 pi Ro and Co. Okay, so we have to calculate what is the value of Ci. Ci is very simple. Ci is nothing but the summation of all these capacitances because they are connected in parallel. So it's nothing but Cwi plus Cmi plus Cgs, right? Where Cgs is where the input Miller capacitor, that is Cmi, is nothing but 1 minus Av multiplied by the CGD, right? That we already have calculated in the earlier slide, as Cmi is nothing but 1 minus Av into CGD, where Av is equal to Vy divided by Vx. This is very important step that we have to consider. Otherwise you will get wrong answer if we consider Vo divided by Vi directly if input source resistance is given, right? So that care you have to take. Okay, so Cmi is 1 minus Av into CGD. Similarly, I will get the value of Co is equal to Cwo plus Cmo plus Cds. Clear? Okay, so similarly with the Miller's output, that is Cmo, is nothing but 1 minus here 1 upon Av multiplied by CGD. Okay, so as far as C is concerned, C ka part is over. How to calculate the value of R? Now Ri is nothing but the parallel combination of signal resistance or input source resistance with the Rg, that is gate resistance. Okay, so Rg in parallel with R signal, that is nothing but my input resistance as far as high frequency response is concerned. For output resistance, here in this particular case at the output side, output resistance is nothing but the parallel combination of Rd, small ro and Rl. If Rl is not given, don't take Rl. If Ro is not given, don't take Ro. Simple. So Ro in parallel with Rd in parallel with Rl. Okay, right? So from this particular video, we will be getting the value of FH1, FHI and FHO, and the question arises which particular value we have to take. So we all know that from the particular frequency response, we'll be getting that FH is nothing but the minimum value of FHI comma FHO. So if you are getting FHI as minimum value and FHO as maximum value, from FHI only we'll be getting higher valued gain than that of your FHO. So here we'll be getting the higher value gain, AVI divided by root 2, and here we'll be getting the lower value gain, that is AVO divided by root 2. So I will choose this particular value. So I will choose this particular value FHI. So I will consider the value FH, that is higher cutoff frequency, is nothing but the minimum value out of two parameters of frequency FHI and FHO. So we will stop here in this particular video, and we will learn in the next videos about the numericals of multi-stage amplifier as far as frequency response is concerned. So thank you very much. Learn more and more EDC with me with Ekeeda videos. Thank you.